This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Radio Show with head coach Fred Hoiberg, presented by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Griesel popping up to catch it as Walker takes it in on Kalkbrenner, scores it. He scores that puppy every time he puts his head down, goes into his chest. See? Now to Griesel, shoots up a long three. Got it! Big, big, big three! Sam Griesel. Step back three. No good. Rebound by Walker. He tries to power it up against three defenders and does successfully. A little kiss off the window on the right side of the goal by Walker.
That's a man's play right there. Derek Walker, 2 huge offensive rebounds.
Puts up another three. This one's on the way. Got it! Got it! Got it! Breidenbach with a big three. Griesel puts his head down, drives again, puts it up and in again. Sammy, my boy. Huskers can smell it. Across the timeline comes Griesel. Griesel, the floater, the pass, and the touch finish by Walker. Nebraska slicing and dicing the Creighton Blue Jays. Griesel brings it across the timeline. Take that monkey off our backs. The Huskers at the horn, winning this puppy. 10 points, 63-53 over Creighton.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed just an absolutely fantastic Sunday. So glad you've joined us. We've got a fun couple of hours here for you on the Huskers Radio Network. Coming up, hour number 2, we have the volleyball show. John Cook, John Baylor will be here in studio. But, man, perfect scheduling on our part as we have our Nebraska men's basketball show, and head coach Fred Hoiberg joining us here in studio, coming off just what an incredible win for this program. Have you recovered? Are you dried off from that Gatorade back in the locker room?
That was cold. I'm not going to lie. I'd had a couple of those in Kansas City when we won back-to-back Big 12 tournament championships, but I knew it was coming, so I kind of got out of the way and didn't get a direct hit. I had no idea on this one, but yeah, it never felt so good. It was pretty cool.
They were all waiting for you, and it took you a while to get.
Yeah, the TV interview went a long time. Yeah.
So they were all just like waiting and anticipating, and then Sam was standing outside the locker room. I said, I'll go down the hall and I'll give you a nod when he's coming. And they were just like, I'm so surprised they didn't tip you off because they were fired up.
Yeah, I had no idea, but it was it was pretty cool to be able to celebrate that one. And you know, we got a quick turnaround. That's the thing about today is we talked about how important it is to put a big emotional win like that behind us and talk to them about enjoying it. You have to enjoy them when you have them. And you know, I know they did last night, but it was all business again this morning. And we put in the game plan for Indiana. Going to be a tough game, a very hostile environment in Bloomington. They're selling out right now, and when that place is sold out, it gets really, really loud. And coming off their last home game where they knocked off North Carolina. So, you know, just got back to work and get a good day of prep tomorrow. Late game, we play an 8:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. But, you know, again, I love this team, love how they're out there competing, and hopefully we can go out and duplicate what we did yesterday.
402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show, if you got a call or a text for Coach Hoiberg. And I know your team's moving on and close the chapter, but we got to talk about it a little bit more here on the show tonight. First time since 1995 that Nebraska had won a regular season game in Omaha. What was about this team that they were able to go get that done?
You know what? I think leadership, toughness, and just a defensive identity that this team has really bought into. And I was really pleased with how we got out of the gate. It's very important those first 5 minutes in Omaha because if they get playing downhill, they are really difficult to stop. We changed our offensive rebounding philosophy in that game. We've been pretty darn good at it all year, but we felt that getting back and loading our defense and trying to get them in the half court was the most important thing in that game yesterday. The other thing that we had to do was be selective at the rim. Kalkbrenner is so good at blocking shots, and that's what fuels their transition game and gets them out in the break, and that's where they get layups and they get their threes. Early on, we gave up a couple plays in the paint to Kalkbrenner. He got a lob on the first possession, but that's really what we tried to take away. You can't take everything away from that team, but we felt if we took away the paint and forced them to shoot from the outside with a spirited contest, that was our best opportunity. And they took 43s. They had some looks, that were pretty good for them, but I felt that we did a really good job of rotating, and we were crisp, we were sharp for the most part. We missed a couple of them, but really good, complete game. You had to play 40 minutes. If you had any chance of winning that game, you had to play a complete 40-minute defensive effort type basketball game, and that's what we did.
I know defense has been the effort really since, I mean, you were putting this team together, but when did that become a emphasis for this group specifically, that you thought, okay, we have to be a really good defensive team?
Well, I just because of the personnel, when you have a 6'7" point guard in Sam Griesel, it gives you a lot of flexibility. He can really guard 1 through 4, and that's what he did at North Dakota State when he played there previously. And then Emmanuel Bandamel, the job he did on Nemhard, that kid has been living in the paint all year long, and by keeping him out, that's where they get a lot of those spray out threes, open threes. And I think he's really kind of the unsung hero of that game last night. I think he scored 6 points, but what he did defensively really set the tone for us. So you've got a guy out there at the head of the snake that gets you into your defense, and then the guys behind it, I thought, were really, again, on point with the game plan. We had really good game plan discipline last night, and CJ had really good, I thought, closeouts and forced and funneled into the baseline. And then I thought our double teams coming from the baseline side were really on point and forced a couple turnovers where we were able to get out and run.
Yeah, Emmanuel, 4 points, you nailed it. And he's said this since my very first interview when he was first on campus, that he doesn't care if he scores at all. He takes pride in what he does on the defensive end. But, you got a lot of guys like that. And you have a lot of guys that step up in different moments. I mean, it was Derek Walker for a while, then it was Sam Griesel. What's it like as a coach to see this team be unselfish and find the hot hand any given night?
It really is an unselfish group, and that's what makes this group of guys so much fun to coach, is they really buy into each other. And it's been a lot of fun to see them rally around each other. It's not the same guy every night, as you just said, and Derek obviously was the guy that really gave us an advantage, and we went to him early to try to get us going, and that's exactly what he did. Creighton did a great job staying with our shooters and chasing them all over the court. That's what gave Derek a lot of opportunity to play make for himself, and he does such a good job of getting into the body. That's what you have to do with Kalkbrenner. You cannot go over him. He's going to block every one of those, especially when he has a size advantage like he did last night. But Derek got into the body with his shoulder, almost stunned the defender a little bit, and then was able to go up. And he's so good at changing angles, spinning the ball off the glass with up and unders and that type of thing, and really use it with his body as opposed to athleticism. But really impressive effort by Derek.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. When you guys are planning, and again, I thought it was a couple nights ago, it was Casey, right? And I mean, you can tell this team is looking to get the hot hand, and just absolutely unselfish. Is that something sometimes you guys see on game film, that there are some mismatches you can take advantage of, or is it how the game unfolds sometimes too? Yeah,
we always put an edit together of how the defense plays. We'll watch it tomorrow, actually, on what Indiana does, and they're really sound. I mean, Indiana is one of those teams that they're about as solid as you're going to find a team defensively. But going into that game, our guys, we probably watched a 25 clip edit of what their defense is and where we think that we can attack going into that game, and we felt Derek was our advantage on that. The game before against Boston College, we felt we could really expose them in the corners. They really help off and they swarm the ball. If we had good ball security and came to a jump stop, we felt that we would get good open shots, and that's what happened, especially Casey in the first half. I think he had 17 first half points, and then CJ really got it going in the second half. And our guys did, as you said, a great job of finding the hot hand, screening, really seeking out bodies and getting those guys coming off. And Creighton took that away from us. And then we went with Sam on the post. We really found that formula going into that, and he backed his guy down. We had a couple really good plays where he'd play the get game with Derek, and he'd get a back cut or setting a little crackback action on the shooter. So, again, just the execution our guys went out and played with, especially those last 10 minutes. I thought we were very sharp.
Sam Griesel was talking about how much he's learned from you, and even just coming out of timeouts and drawing up plays and stuff. But how much, again, this veteran group, do they sense some of that, too, unfolding on the court? I mean, I know you guys are always coaching them up and have a game plan, but how much can they sense what's going on, too? Yeah, a lot. We put in a whole new package today just to, add to what we did, what we had success with in this game yesterday or last night. So, we put a new action in that we think will help with the personnel on this team, and we just continue to add pretty much every game, and we'll add a couple actions that we think can be successful against the defense that we're going to face. I always think it's fun to ask players about hostile environments. Do you like hostile environments? You like going on the road?
I liked playing in them, yeah, especially in rival games. And, you know, when you have control, I thought we did a great job really controlling the pace of that game. We controlled the tempo of that game. And, you know, we were very cautious, and we talked about, you know, really being selective in our attack. If we had numbers, which we had a couple times, Emmanuel got loose for 2 layups in transition. But if we did not have numbers, we really wanted to slow it down and execute the offense. You can't get into a running game for 40 minutes with that team in that building. You know, they're going to smoke you if you do that. So, again, I thought our guys, when it was there, we attacked. When it wasn't, we slowed down and executed the offense.
Got a text for you from Roger on our text line. Congratulations, Coach Hoiberg. Big ups on taking the Jays out of their shooting rhythm and crashing so hard on the boards when the rock was shot. Beautiful. A line from Major League. I believe this team is beginning to come together. Always go Big Red, Roger.
Well, thank you.
You a fan of Major League?
Yeah, a huge fan of Major League. But, you know, appreciate the message, Roger. And really, when we got Derek back on the floor, that's made a huge difference in our team, and you see that. He just is the guy that calms everything down. When we're getting pressured, we can get Derek the ball in the middle of the floor, and he can go make a play. We missed that at St. John's. We missed that against Oklahoma and, you know, in a couple of the other games that we played. So, you know, to be able to survive and go 3-2 without Derek in the games that he missed, and then getting him back on the floor right now, you just see the impact he has overall, not just scoring it, but rebounding it. He's an experienced defender that's played a lot of high-quality basketball. In
the past, he's been kind of a guy that likes to defer and get his teammates involved more first, and then, but this year it seems to be he's being more aggressive. Have you seen that out of him in his game this year?
The thing that I'm really impressed with Derek is he's always going to, whatever the defense, however they're playing, he's going to make the simple play. And again, last night they really made a conscious effort of taking away the shooters and staying home on them, and that's what, you know, gave Derek the opportunity. And it was the same thing against Florida State when he had a big game and, you know, just really changed some things and spread the floor and got the ball in Derek's hands to let him go make plays. The other thing about Derek, he's such a good passer. And, you know, you just feel really good when he's got the ball in his hands, and you have a very high trust level, especially when you're playing 2-man games with Sam and with Derek.
All right, got to get to our first break. 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with more with Coach Hoiberg coming up right after this.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Buick GMC. No matter where you're heading or what tasks need tackling, there's a premium and capable GMC truck that's perfect for you. Make a statement on the job site, out on the town, or wherever life leads you in the powerful and distinctive Sierra 1500, or elevate your driving experience in the adventurous and innovative Canyon. Explore our inventory online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com or visit our indoor showroom today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. I'm Jessica Coody here with Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg, coming off the big win over Creighton. We got some texts and calls rolling in for you, Coach. We'll head to Blake in Lincoln. Blake, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great. I just wanted to congratulate you, Fred, on what an amazing win. As a Husker basketball fan, the younger generation, I'm only 27, but for Tim Miles' tenure, I was front row of every basketball game. I'd sit in line, 2.5 hours before the gates open just to get in the front row. Passionate, diehard fan. And when I tell you I was in the building in Omaha, section 110, row 15, getting picked on and verbally abused by Creighton fans the whole game, saying we weren't going to win, saying we weren't going to get it, saying we'd choke. I cannot begin to tell you that that was a sports memory that will impact me the rest of my life, walking out of CHI Health Center chanting "Go Big Red" in the concourse. And I'm just so happy for the program and the team. And I really can't put into words how much that win meant for the fan base. So thank you so much. And that's a memory that me and my dad will have the rest of our lives. So thank you.
Well, that's awesome, Blake. I really appreciate your support and your passion for the program. That's a great story, and that's the great thing about sports is you can create those memories with whether it's a parent or a brother or a spouse, anything like that. To be able to relive it, time and time again, years down the road. So that's really cool that you were able to be in the building yesterday. And again, as I said, I just couldn't be more proud of this group and how they've responded and how resilient they've been. And we're going to have to continue to be that way the rest of the season. Our schedule is an absolute monster here the rest of the way, every game, and just got to continue to go out there and compete. And that's the one thing I know this group will do. And I've talked a lot about that with this team. Is I think it'll be a very easy team to root for because of how hard they play. They show up every day. We're going to have nights off, absolutely, but I still think we'll have a chance because of how they bought in to the other side of the ball on the defensive end and the rebounding. I think this is 7 games in a row now where we've won the rebound battle. And, you just see those guys out there flying around. They're talking, communicating. They're upbeat in the huddles, even when other teams are going on runs. And, I just absolutely love coaching this group. But a really, really cool story. Thanks again for the call.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Blake. Do you have a sporting event that you went to as a fan that you think about like that?
You know what? I actually went to a football game. I was playing for the Bulls, and I went back to the Iowa State-Iowa game in Kinnick Stadium. And it was a horrible start. It was 28. I think it was 28-0 to start. We scored a late touchdown to make it 28-7 at Iowa State. And I was going to leave. I watched one possession in the second half, and I sat up with a guy named Pete Taylor, who was the longtime radio voice, and Eric Heft, who played basketball there but did the football color, and said, I'm going to watch one possession. If not, I'm out of here. I got to get back to Chicago. We scored. They fumbled. We scored. 3 and out, we scored and ended up winning that game. And that was one of the same moments for me walking out of that stadium being really proud.
That's awesome. All right, got a text for you. Do you have any pregame superstitions as a player or now as a coach?
As a player, probably had too many. I was very superstitious. I wore the same shirt to every home game my senior year at Iowa State. We won them all except for the last one. We got beat on senior night by Oklahoma, coached by Kelvin Sampson. Ryan Miner was a great player on that team. And it was, so I do. I had a lot of superstitions. I tried to eat the same thing before every game. Now as a coach, I'm a little bit less. I try not to be, because if you do, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Here's another one for you, John in Omaha. I know any win is a good win, but as a competitor, honestly, is it more fun to take one from a team on their home court? My sons and I were going nuts.
You know what? It is. It's a lot of fun. And, going back and playing in games like that, it's always, when you go into a hostile environment, it's great to walk out of there with a win. We got a couple, I think 3 in a row, actually, to end last year at Penn State, at Ohio State, at Wisconsin, which were all great wins for our team. And I think gave us, honestly, a little bit of momentum heading into this year from the guys that were here that came back, and then also allowed us to get in and talk to players, show them style of play and the success that we had with our system, that last month of the season last year. So, getting wins on the road are huge. We've talked to our team a lot about the importance of protecting our home court. Guys have bought into that. They've played very well. Our fans have been awesome. The Boston College game was terrific. I know we're going to have a great crowd on Sunday against Purdue, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. But, yeah, those road wins, absolutely, those are a lot of fun.
And there were times, too, that the Creighton crowd was trying to get back in it, but, boy, your team made a big play when they absolutely had to have it. What's the loudest arena that you've either played in or been in?
Probably Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas. You know that from covering the old Big 12. But, in our league, I think Purdue is up there as well. Indiana, when it's full, which it will be on Wednesday night, is incredibly loud. Michigan State, where my son Jack played, is a great arena. There's really no bad ones in this league. But Allen Fieldhouse, we were playing, and we had a 3-point lead, missed a free throw to go up 4 with about 7 seconds left, and Kansas runs a play they call chop at the end of the game, and we went over and shoot around about 10 times, and we're going to switch the handoff, we're switching the flare. And they came down, and, a lot of times we'll foul up 3, but this time at Kansas, they don't call fouls when you're on the free throw line. So they come down, they hand off, and I look down, and my kid, Tyrus McGee, who led the nation in 3-pointers, unbelievable player, but he was standing in the middle of the paint, and I just go, oh, no. And they threw the flare to Ben McLemore. He made a great contest on it. It looked like the ball was going to fly over the backboard. It hit the top of the square, banked in, and I've never been in a louder arena, and I almost just brought the team over and said, all right, guys, great effort, but we got no chance. I'd never heard it any place louder than that. And then, the place that I played and coached at Hilton, it's, the sound bounces off that ceiling. And, I played in a game against Oklahoma State when they were number 2 in the nation, and they had a kid named Darwin Alexander who led the Big 8 in free throw shooting. It was so loud in the arena that the backboard was actually shaking a little bit. And he went up there, we were up 1, and he missed both free throws, and we ended up winning that game. So I've been very fortunate. I played in some great places, and certainly some memorable ones like Allen Fieldhouse. And I'll tell you, the one that was crazy was the old Gallagher-Iba before they put the addition on. That ceiling seemed like it was right on top of you. It was about 8,000. Their cowboy mascot would come fire his guns off. It almost gave me a heart attack in my freshman year the first time I saw it. But yeah, it's played in some good leagues that have great fan bases.
So on that note, how important is a good crowd? I know you guys are taking it one game at a time, and you got to go play at Indiana. But when we're talking about being at home and protecting the home court, how important is that home crowd advantage for you guys on Saturday? It is. We had a great lift and a great boost from our fans. That second half, we were making that run against Boston College, or expanding on what we had done and getting that lead up to double figures and pushing it all the way up, I think 28 at one point. But our fans were incredible during that stretch. And again, I talked about how important it is to have a team that your fan base can rally behind to be proud of, and I think we have that group this year. All right, those texts and calls coming in on our Sports Nightly hotline that's brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of these 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Got to work in another break here on our Nebraska men's basketball show, but more with the coach coming up right after this.
It's the Ford Shine Bright sales event, and Ford is helping you be a light for others this holiday season. Right now, get special offers on select Ford trucks and SUVs. Come in and choose a vehicle in stock, or simply place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Hurry in to your local Ford dealer today and find the Ford vehicle that helps you shine bright all season long. Not all models, trims, or features may be available or may be subject to change.
So, when do you think you'll be done with our kitchen renovation?
Well, ma'am, the Italian marble countertops will take a while to get in.
No problem. In the meantime, you can start on the spiral staircase.
What?
If you win Mega Millions from the Nebraska Lottery with a jackpot that starts in the millions in drawings Tuesdays and Fridays, you can afford to go a little mega.
So you want us to build a spiral staircase?
Well, how else are we supposed to get up to the helipad? Oh, good. My husband's home.
Top prize odds 1 in 302 million.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in a company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense.
more powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
I'm the warmest too. I'm so glad we called SOS before the coldest got here.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota's Crawford. If your house is the coldest, call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Don't be like me in the winter. Take it from Dakota.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Welcome back to the Nebraska Men's Basketball Show. Jessica Coody here with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Well, I know you went to the press conference the other day with Coach Rule. What were your takeaways?
Yeah, really excited. Great guy. He sent me a really nice message last night after the game. I think he's going to be terrific. I know he's been on the road a ton, going out, seeing a lot of kids, and yeah, I was really impressed with that with this presser. And I think he's a guy that's going to be fun to play for, and I think he's going to do a terrific job. You look at his track record of helping get programs to the top. So yeah, really excited about him. And before we get anywhere, I want to congratulate Amy on an unbelievable win for those guys last night at Maryland on the road. Huge win for them, and then John again right in the thick of it. Going in to the regionals next week in Louisville. Just wish those guys all the best. Yeah,
that was a fun Saturday for Nebraska basketball fans for sure. From noon to when you guys left the court, it was a fun day for sure. Had a question for you. What did you guys do to celebrate? Well, you had the locker room celebration, but you said it. I mean, this team closed the chapter. You got to move on because you got some big ones coming up this week.
Well, on the way home, the guys all fell asleep, and I was up there watching film. So that's how we celebrated. But it was good in the locker room after the game, and the guys were jacked up. But again, the thing I've been impressed, another thing about this group is they are very businesslike and process oriented, and they understand that it's a short turnaround. If you had a week, we give them a couple days to enjoy it, and then you get back to work. But we were back in there at 8 o'clock this morning, getting ready for Indiana, putting a game plan together, and hopefully going out and executing. You have to find a way to get past these emotional ones, whether you win or lose, so it doesn't affect the next one.
How about the stacking days? Because you guys now have played 3 pretty good games in a row, and you had talked about, there was a stretch against Boston College, but you put it all together against Creighton. How important is that for this team to keep stacking those good games together?
Yeah, it started with the Florida State was a great one for us and really played an excellent second half, and then that carried over. Boston College, 2 ACC teams in a row, opened up a big lead, getting a couple wins by double digits, and then going out and playing probably our most complete game of the year against Creighton and doing it on both ends. And that's important. It's important for your guys to know you can do it. It gives confidence the next time you're in a game like that. And it's going to be that way the rest of the season. We don't have one game going into it where you can take a breath and just say, all right, we're going to steamroll these guys. Every game here forward is going to be tough and just have to be ready. And I think our guys, we talked a lot about it. Not only physically do you have to be tough, but you have to be mentally tough, especially when you go on the road in a hostile environment like we're going to play in.
Well, this is the last segment you're going to be with us because you have a big night. Happy birthday to Carol. And Adam Howard was on the show last week, and he talked about just how important she's been to his family and getting settling in here. And I know a lot of times Trev talks about it all the time. A lot of the wives don't get a lot of credit, but how important has she been to you and your family in this career and your program?
Yeah, she's been the rock of this family for a lot of years. And, we started dating, I was 16 when we first started dating, and she was 18, and, we've been together ever since. So, yeah, it was her birthday. We actually were in Omaha on her actual day. So, there's a special place in heaven for a coach's wife. You're raising the family a lot of times on your own, and, going back to my days as a professional athlete, you're on the road for 2 weeks at a time. When your kids are young, and, it's just, she's a saint and has done so many great things for our family. So I appreciate you helping moving this radio show up a little bit so we can go out and have a night, to celebrate her birthday and everything that she does for our family.
All right, last couple of minutes, a couple big ones. We've talked a lot about it. What are going to be the keys against Indiana and then Purdue on Saturday? Yeah,
Indiana, you have to get back in transition with their team. They're so good. They pressure all over the floor. They're going to get up underneath us, and we have to play with great poise again, which I thought we did yesterday as well as we could in a hostile environment. So we're going to have to duplicate that on Wednesday night. We're going to have to be selective at the rim again against Trace Jackson Davis, and they're also 6'10" with Race Thompson at the 4 spot. So they've got great length. Probably as big a key as anything is rebounding. We're going to have to hopefully limit them to one shot, get back, force them into the half court, and then finish off the possession with a physical block out and hopefully a good, strong two-hand rebound. And then, going to have to come down on the other end and really be strong with the ball. They're very good at forcing turnovers, and Mike Woodson's teams are always very tough.
I did one more thing. How about Coach Linzer, Nate Linzer, and the job he's doing, and your whole entire coaching staff this year?
Yeah, really proud of the staff. Nate and I have been together going all the way back to our days at Iowa State, and, I trust him with everything, and we know what each other needs, what each other wants. We work very well off of each other. He's been terrific for us with our defense this year, and, really proud of Nate for, everything he's done. I brought him with me to Chicago. He was the head coach of the Windy City Bulls in their inaugural season, and then brought him back on the bench with me. And then when he was not retained by Billy Donovan, he was the first call that I made to get him back with me. He's so good. He's so detail-oriented. He's a great individual skill development coach as well, but he's well-rounded. He's absolutely terrific. And then I've been really pleased with Adam Howard coming on board, and with Ernie Ziegler getting him late in the game when Coach Gates went to Oregon. So, not just that, but the support staff as well, with Emmanuel Tommy. Been with Matt Holt now going on 4 years. He's as good as I've been around as far as being in the film room. Does a lot of stuff for us with the rule now. He can be on the floor with our guys as well. So, just really pleased with this staff into the training room as well. And, it's a staff that has great chemistry as well.
All right, Coach, thanks for spending some time, and best of luck on Wednesday and on Saturday.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Jessica.
All right, buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Coming up next here from Derek Walker and Emmanuel Bandamel right here on the Nebraska Men's Basketball Show.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com. More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
So, when do you think you'll be done with our kitchen renovation?
Well, ma'am, the Italian marble countertops will take a while to get in.
No problem. In the meantime, you can start on the spiral staircase.
What?
If you win Mega Millions from the Nebraska Lottery with a jackpot that starts in the millions in drawings Tuesdays and Fridays, you can afford to go a little mega.
So you want us to build a spiral staircase?
Well, how else are we supposed to get up to the helipad? Oh, good. My husband's home.
Top prize odds 1 in 302 million.
It's the Ford Shine Bright sales event, and Ford is helping you be a light for others this holiday season. Right now, get special offers on select Ford trucks and SUVs. Come in and choose a vehicle in stock, or simply place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Hurry in to your local Ford dealer today and find the Ford vehicle that helps you shine bright all season long. Not all models, trims, or features may be available or may be subject to change.
Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office as we welcome you back to our Nebraska Men's Basketball Show final segment inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Where you just heard Coach Hoiberg really bragging on Emmanuel Bandamel and the job he did defensively. Last night after the game, I got a chance to chat with him about the big win over Creighton. All right, well, what a massive win. How fun was that locker room just now?
Crazy. I mean, we always happy, everybody would be happy to take down like a top 10 team in the country. So it's just like a crazy feeling. And especially with being rivals with them, to get one at their place on the road is a big kill for us. It's a huge kill. And, that's what we need to get some momentum going for the rest of the season.
What went into that? What went into this win today?
I mean, just like I said the other time in the interview, I was telling everybody, it's about us. It's not about other teams. It's not about what they do on the other side. It's about what we're supposed to do, taking care of the ball, rotation, defensively, rebounding, being physical. And we did that tonight. And it was about being consistent with it, doing it for 40 minutes. And I think we did a good job of doing it the whole game.
You guys had put together 2 really good performances leading into this. How much confidence did you have? How much belief did this team have that you could come get a win up here today?
I mean, it's all about, like I said, working on us, working on what we're supposed to do. And I think that we did that in practice. We did that for the last couple of games. And we understood what we needed to do. We understood that we could do it against anybody. And I think that we understood that pretty well tonight, that it doesn't matter who we go up against, and we just got to do it together, do it for ourselves, and do it for everybody's in the locker room, the coaches, for our families, for the brothers that we got with us on the court, and that's what we did. It's all about togetherness.
You have told me several times about how it doesn't matter who it is, but it could be somebody different at any given time that steps up. And tonight it was that case, right? It was Derek Walker, then Sam Griesel. What's it like being a part of that, seeing that on the court unfold the way that it is, and whoever has a hot hand, whoever has the matchup, that's ideal, they take over in a game?
It's hard to guard. It's really hard to guard whenever you don't know who's going to go off on the night. They're doing scouting. They're like, okay, maybe it's going to be CJ tonight. Maybe it's going to be Casey. everybody it's sometimes it's somebody else, everybody. So every night, so it's like about just being ready, trusting each other, and I think we do a great job of doing that. Understanding that it's an offense where everybody can touch the ball, everybody can chime in what we're doing, and it's just we showed it tonight. One time it was Greasel, one time it was even Derek, and it's just about like doing it together every time, every night, and finding the open guy and finding the hot man.
We can talk about that all day long, but it all starts on the defensive end, right? How proud are you of the way that you guys locked in? That's a team that can score a lot of points and a lot of different players that can score, and then also on the boards too.
I mean, it's crazy to do it against a team that's top 10 in, like efficiency in offense in the whole country, and I think we just. And I think it's just about, trusting that if we do what we're supposed to do, we can stop anyone. And, we kept them to maybe 0 fast break point, and they run the floor. They are a team that gets point in transition, and we kept them down. It's all about, making sure that they cannot play to their strength, and they, defensively, that's what we did, making sure that Nembar didn't get going. He's the head of the snake, making sure that 55 wouldn't get off and get some threes on us. And it was about rotation, keep playing hard, keep rotating. And I think, at one point it just pays off.
What has Derek Walker added to this team being back out on the court?
A lot. What do you add to the team? What do you add to the team? He has a lot to us. He's a pressure release guy. He's here for us defensively. He's a big body. He's here to protect us when we mess up in assignments on the perimeter. He grabs rebounds. He boxes out. And on the other hand, he gets buckets. He gets out and down there, making sure that they feel him on both sides of the court. And just to have him doing that, being a bully ball guy, and making sure that we all on the same page, that's huge. That's literally really huge for all of us.
You talked about the rivalry. What was your first take on playing Creighton? I mean, this crowd was really rocking at one point.
Yeah, I mean, it's the type of crowds that I love to play in. It's the type of ambience that I love you too, Sam. It's the type of crowd that I love to play against. Going over there and shutting the crowd off. At one time everybody was quiet in that gym. And it's a lovely feeling to have this and to have it going on for the whole game pretty much. And it's all about doing it over again, over again for the next game. So yeah.
Yeah, and I know this team has maintained one game at a time in stacking days, right? But what can you take away from a win like this?
I mean, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter who's ranked, who we going against. It doesn't matter if they got explosive score or whatever. We doing it together, and it's about us. It's about building on our principles and all. And I think that we do a good job of we seeing that we can do it, but it's about doing it consistently, doing it for 40 minutes, doing it harder, being more hair tight on what we're doing. And like I said, it's a process. It wasn't like this the first game of the season, but we build it. It's a whole season process. It's a whole season, and I think we trust it, and we build on it from now on.
Appreciate your time. Great win.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Obviously a very happy locker room. We were battling a lot of interruptions, but hey, I'll take it every single time. First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. Well, big night for Derek Walker, too. 22 points, 8 rebounds, and his first ever win over Creighton. Here is Derek Walker following the game yesterday. Well, Derek Walker, how does it feel to beat Creighton? Your first time doing it here on the road, a huge win for this program.
It feels great. We have staff in here that's been here coaching, and just been around the staff for so long, been around the program for so long, and I think this means more to them than us, just because they've been here, they've seen everything that's been going on. So I'm just happy we could get this done for the people that loves us.
What went into this win today? What was the approach? What was the preparation like? Why was this team ready to come pull this one off today?
We had a lot of belief in ourselves. We had a lot of focus, a lot of good preparation. And we knew what this game meant to everyone, including ourselves. It's a rivalry game, so we want to come out and we want to play our best, but we want to win for ourselves. We've been going to this game telling everybody it's about us. Yeah, they're going to go on a run. We've been through adversity, but it's about us, and we believe that we could come out on top, and that's what we did.
How important was the defensive effort? I mean, we can talk about the scoring all day long, but this team has maintained that it starts on the defensive end, and that is a really good scoring team that you guys shut down today. Yeah, like you said, they are a really good scoring team. They're really good in transition. I don't think they really had much of any transition points, and they're a big confidence team. You know, once they get going, you know, it's hard to turn the water off. So our focus was defense, you know, and that's going to be our focus for every game we play, you know, because we got offense. We can play offense, but defense is going to win this game. So that's always going to be our number one focus. What's it like being a part of this team? And I just asked Emmanuel about it, but just that at any given moment, it can be somebody that steps up and delivers in a big moment, and it might be you, it might be Sam Griesel, but it seems like everybody's up for the challenge whenever it's their time. That's what I love about this team, you know, because we're versatile. You know, when you go to scout us, it's like you can't scout everyone, you know, just because of the fact that anyone can have a good night. So that puts a lot of pressure on defense where you got to guard everybody, you know. So this team is very versatile. We got a lot of good pieces. And like you said, it can be anyone's night. So and for us, we love that because whoever night it is, we're gonna keep feeding them. You know, and we got a great group of role players. We got a great group of people that just wants to get the job done. Yeah, a lot of teams aren't like that. They want to get me in mind, but it seems like this team really embraces, hey, whoever's got the hot hand, let's give them the ball. Yeah, we're a very unselfish culture. You know, we all know, we realize that we have to depend on each other to win. You know, this is not a one-man show. This is not a two-man show. This is a group effort. This is everyone's show. You know, and like you said, anyone can be the highlight of the night. You know, Casey was the highlight of the last game, you know. Anyone, Jawan makes many good plays, you know, Wilhelm, you know, we got a bunch of good pieces that can step up any given moment. I know it was hard for you to miss those few games. How much fire did you come back with when you got unleashed and got to be back out on the court? A lot, man, a lot. You know, because you never want to, it's like going to war, you know, you never want to just sit on the back line and watch your brothers go out to war, you know, so being able to get back on the front line with those boys and go to battle, it means everything to me, you know. That's all we put in the work, you know. That's all we go to practice, you know, to play together and have fun together, you know. So it felt great being back on the court, and I know, and it made it even better knowing how much my teammates miss me. So a lot of Husker basketball players that didn't do what you guys did tonight, and a lot of people that are really excited to get to witness what you guys did. What does it mean to you? I know this program means so much to you, and you love wearing the Husker uniform. To be able to give this program this win tonight, not just this team, but all the teams of the past. You know, this is a new Nebraska team. You know, we're here to change the culture. You know, with this win, I hope it continues for 20 more years, you know. And for the guys that's been through this program and weren't able to get this win, this is for them. You know, because I know how much this game means to them, and I know how much the game meant to me coming out here to play tonight. So this is for everyone in Nebraska that loves Lincoln. How much were you fueled by, one time you were trying to quiet the crowd, I mean, how much were you fueled by this hostile environment? I love it, you know, when you're on the road, whenever you can take the crowd out of the game, you know you're doing something right. Mm-hmm. You know, so us just staying on their necks, keeping the crowd out of it, I think that really just helped us shift our momentum, but also killed theirs. You know, so I don't know. I'm just happy we won this game. It's 3 pretty solid performances now this team has put together now. How big is that? What can you guys continue to take away and build off of? Biggest thing is defense. You know, sticking to our principles, sticking to being us, sticking to doing what we do on offense, sticking to playing together. Because, you know, we got a long road coming up next, especially with Big Ten play. I believe we can come out on top of Big Ten play, but we got to believe in ourselves and we got to stick to what we do. Appreciate your time. Great game. Thank you. All right, again, that was Derek Walker, and before that, Emmanuel Bandamel. And, man, just a fun Sunday full of hoops. Nebraska women's basketball pulled off the upset on the road over number 20 Maryland. We'll have Amy Williams in studio coming up tomorrow night, so we'll get to talk about that. And then they are back to Big Ten action on Wednesday as well against Wisconsin, so we'll get to dive into all of that. But, yeah, fun hour talking hoops coming off the win over Creighton, and boy, it just keeps going for Nebraska men's basketball on the road at number 14 Indiana. Wednesday, 7:30, 6:30 pregame, and then number 4 Purdue here in Lincoln on Saturday, 1:15 tip-off, 12:15 pregame show. Shout out to Kent Pavelka, man. He was, I got to sit by him yesterday. He was fun to sit next to during that game. Almost as entertaining as the action on the court. All right, that's going to do it for the Nebraska men's basketball show. John Cook, John Baylor coming up next with the Nebraska volleyball show.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. the strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
This is the Husker Volleyball Radio Show with head coach John Cook. Presented by Bank of the West and your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
This place is electric early. Line drive served by Rodriguez. Good pass. Turner runs the slide. And a big block. Badenhorst back out. Passing worse than a kidney stone. Here come the Huskers after the free ball outside. Big swing by Badenhorst. Off hands and out. 16-9. All Big Red thus far. Caroline being the good pass, gets back swing. Lexi's dig this time goes backwards, chased down by Maddie. Husker volleyball, and Badenhorst roll shots it. It's in! The set came from behind her. Are you kidding me? Jack back, they run the slide. Langs, roll shot. Ani Evans with the up. Husker volleyball fed to the left. Maddie Kubik, kaboom! Woo-hoo! The Howitzers are out tonight for the Big Red. It's 15-13. Okay pass, left side swing. Swanson blocked again. Guess who? It's the Kalen Hart Show. 9-6. Bump set to the back row. Bianna winds up, roll shots. And here come the Huskers. The setter hat with the first touch. Bump set to the right. Krause for the win. She got it. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska to the Sweet 16.
Here is your host, John Baylor, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Ah, the happy mems. Hello, hello. Happy Monday night. This is your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Special time, Monday, 7 o'clock Central. I'm your humble host, John Baylor, soon to be joined by the star of the Nebraska Volleyball Show, the head coach, John Cook. You were just listening to, eavesdropping on Nebraska's 4-set win over Kansas on Friday night, 25-14, 18, 19-25, and 26-24. The Huskers hang on, and now we'll play at 10 in the morning. That's not Hawaii time. That's local Eastern Central time, and it'll be 11 a.m. in Louisville, where the Huskers will be playing, where the local time will be 11 a.m. Anyway, Central time, 10 a.m., but for Oregon, the opponent, it'll be 8 a.m. Pacific time for them, as the Huskers and Oregon Ducks have to adjust to allow for TV. I guess it's going to be on a fancier channel, ESPNU and ESPN2, as opposed to ESPN Plus. Very few cable channels have a minus. I'm looking to sign up for Disney minus. Anyway, it's Oregon 25-5, 17-3 in the Pac-12. They're number 9 in the country, and the number 7 seed. Your Huskers 26-5, 16-4, the number 2 team in the Big Ten. Will play the number 2 team in the Pac-12 this regular season. The Huskers have won 2 in a row. Oregon has won 15 in a row. The winner advances to play the winner of Baylor and Louisville on Saturday at 3 o'clock Central Time. The loser has a lot more time for homework. I'm John Baylor. Let's bring in the head coach of Nebraska Volleyball, John Cook. Good evening.
Good evening, JB. How are you doing?
Very well. Thanks for your curiosity, but most importantly, how are you doing? How's the team looking?
Team had a good day of practice. They're excited. They're fired up. They went hard. They also said it went by really fast, so that's a pretty good sign. That's,
Practice went by fast.
Yeah, I wonder if they're saying that in their college classes. Boy, the class went by really fast today.
I hope so. These Husker professors, they're solid.
Yeah, they are.
They get things rolling. The students just get dialed in. Next thing you know, boom, class is over. Everyone's all ticked off.
Yeah. No, it's and then tomorrow, we're gonna actually practice in the morning to simulate playing at 10 in the morning.
Nice.
Because most of our players probably aren't up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yikes.
So we gotta start acclimating them. Interesting start time, earliest ever. Well, 11. It's 11 o'clock. I guess we went 11 o'clock against Penn State.
Yes, in 2016, and that thing almost went south.
Yeah.
Remember what happened there?
It was down to the final swing.
Well, Penn State had 2 swings for the match.
Yeah, it was Amber Ralston.
Yes.
Amber, you listening tonight? It was your left hand put you in.
Somebody pull Amber away from dinner right now in Papillion and just let's all just relive that moment.
Oh, she's living in Illinois right now.
Oh, take it all back. All right. Anyway.
Hopefully she's listening and she
saved the Huskers bacon that day.
Her left hand, it was the left hand in the right spot. And that turned that match.
And the
Simone
Lee for Penn State.
Yeah.
2. And had a big moment in that rally. Kenzie.
She made a great dig.
Maloney.
Yeah.
Saving that baby.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was a morning start, and you've had some struggles historically, and not just long ago in 2016.
Everybody has struggles that early.
Is it that whole generation?
Yeah. It's just hard to play. Yeah. You're not used to it. So
when I'm walking in the neighborhood, I don't see a lot of 17 and 19-year-olds walking, but I see a lot of older folks walking.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So anyway, that's the plan, and we leave tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll have a morning practice Wednesday and tee it up Thursday.
Are you okay doing this for the almighty television?
No, I think it's ridiculous.
Say more. I like a little controversy.
You know, they're gonna play the national or the college football playoffs football game at 10 in the morning. No. I mean, I don't know. It's just makes it hard on, you know, our fans, people that work. You know, I don't know why they can't figure this out. Do half on one day, half on another day, since we're staggering it anyway.
Yeah, go Thursday, Saturday, Friday.
Yeah.
Sunday, and March Madness plays in the morning, but that
Right.
They gotta,
Do they?
But that's the first round.
First round,
First
yeah,
round.
not the Sweet 16.
Exactly.
So I don't know. But you know, hey, we're getting 500,000 people watching us on TV. So, but this isn't helping boost TV ratings. To me, this is, you know, I guess they're going to get everything on for the whole day, but it just seems like to promote the sport, and basketball's not doing this, and so anyway, it's tough.
You may be penalized because you're Nebraska and you get ratings when you are on TV.
Right.
One reason you went first on that morning, that Thursday morning in 2016, to get the ratings up for the rest of the day. People will stick around because they're going to come in and watch the Huskers. You had 600,000 folks, viewers, watching that Wisconsin match. That was a regular season. So for this, who knows?
Yeah, but you know that the reason they put us early on Penn State was because they knew we'd still fill Devaney at 10 in the morning or 11 in the morning. So it's a challenge, but yeah, that's how the NCAA tournament rolls.
Coach, Oregon, they have a unique team, if you ask me. They got two amazing elite outside hitters who get basically 60% of their attempts. Mimi Collier, this freshman of the year candidate, and then Brooke Nunneville has been around, and she's a former libero for them, so you know she can play all the way around. But they have the number 4 offense in the country. So you think if the outsides are getting so many swings, they're going to have a lower hit percentage. No, they have like the best of both worlds. Great elite terminators on the outside and a fabulous overall offense. They're tough.
They're very tough, and they're on a 15 match. I mean, lost in 15 straight matches, but the best players are Setter. She's really good, and she makes it go. They run a really fast offense. She puts those guys in great positions every time. So that's going to be a challenge, how we slow her down and slow those outside hitters down. And they still have, I mean, they still got a lot of good hitters, but their setter is elite.
Hannah Pukas.
Yeah, she's a lefty, and she's a transfer, I believe, from Washington State.
Yep.
Hopefully she's a 5th year.
She's a junior.
Oh, she's a junior. Yep. Wow. Interesting transfer.
Remember, USC and UCLA are joining us in the Big Ten, not Oregon, so you may not see her all that much.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she's impressive, but their team's very good.
when you have great middles across the net, typically you want to just serve tough, take them out of their offense so they can't set the middles. What do you do when their best players are on the outside and their best players the setter?
Well, one, you try to make it a little bit harder on her. And two, our blocking defense, we got block balls, dig balls, and you know, we're the #1 defensive team in the country. So we've got to do a great job on getting in their tendencies and understanding where they're trying to hit, and then really not letting them junk, tip, throw for kills. We got to make them hit because they're not really big outside hitters compared to like a Taylor Lanfear or Emily London. I mean, those are big physical outside hitters. I mean, Brooke used to be a libero.
Yeah, she's 5'11".
And she flies around. I mean, she really flies, jumps really well. And
Mimi Collier's 6'3".
She doesn't look 6'3", but anyway, they run a really nice offense, and the setter does a great job.
A lot of pressure on your right side blockers. How do you like Whitney and Lindsay over there?
Well, those guys are legit. So this is what they get paid to do, is slow those hitters down, just like their blockers are going to try to slow them down.
Becca, Alec, Caitlin Horde. Has Becca's blocking started to approach Caitlin's ability in that department?
They're two different kind of blockers. Caitlin is a very physical blocker, gets way over. Becca, I would say, she is a very sophisticated blocker. She can block balls, she can touch balls, she can control balls. She can make really big moves. She sees really well. She might see as good as any middle we've had. And she just has great instincts.
How gratified are you that finally you're going to get a day off, or whoever wins on Thursday gets a day off for the first time ever, rather than back-to-back nights, you're going to get a day off between the regional semis and the regional finals?
Yeah, I mean, they started that last year, and I mean, I've been fighting for that since I was coaching at Wisconsin, because I made the first big stink about it back in 95, maybe, 1995, and we had the late match against Notre Dame, and they put us at, I think, 11 in the morning, or no, 1 the next day. We did not even finish the match with Notre Dame till after midnight.
Oh.
And you have to turn around. We play Florida, who we had, I think, a really hard 4-game match with Notre Dame. Florida beat whoever in 3-0. And then we have to play Florida, and we start off, we go up 2-0, and then we just hit the wall and lost in 5. So that's when I'm like, how can you ask these athletes to play past midnight and then turn around and play at 1 in the morning? It's nuts. That's when it first started, but there's been several other coaches that complained about having a late match and then having these regionals, having to turn around, the next day and play the early match, just like 11 o'clock match.
And does it let you fully focus on your regional semifinal opponent? Because you will have a little bit of downtime?
Yeah, and then you have a day to prepare, but mainly that day is to recover, and these guys play hard. I'd like to see some of these people on the committee and making decisions in the NCAA go out, play that hard for 3 hours and see how they feel the next day.
And you've been burned in the past. Remember 2012? You win in Omaha against Washington. The next night you got to turn around and play Oregon.
Yeah.
And
is that in Omaha?
That was in Omaha. And you lose 3-1 in 2012. And 2014 at Washington, you pull one of the great upsets in Husker history. You beat one of the top seeds in the tournament, Washington, on their home floor in the regional semi. And the next night you got to play Brigham Young. It was 20-20 in all 3 sets. And what did you say about that match if you had an extra day to prepare?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice, but but we're you never you would never see basketball do that. I mean, baseball does it, but they still take breaks during the World Series, and I'm trying to think. I mean, hockey might still play back to back.
Baseball's not quite as aerobic, as
Right.
volleyball.
Right.
I mean, when you're watching between pitches, I don't see the center fielder jumping up and down 4 times, doing burpees.
Yeah, that's true.
402-413-2400, 402-413-2400. Husker baseball fans are not happy with that comment.
Yeah.
We're going to start getting blistered online. Stay right there. More Nebraska Volleyball Show. NCAA Tournament Round 3, Louisville, Thursday morning. Be here. 9:30 pregame in the morning. You're listening to the Husker Sports Network.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. How did Jordan's interview go?
I'm not sure. Your brother isn't home yet. Oh, one sec. Someone's at the door.
Are you Mrs. Lewis?
Yes?
Mrs. Lewis, I'm Officer Taylor. Your son was in a crash and has died.
What?
He wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
No. No.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
It's the Ford Shine Bright sales event, and Ford is helping you be a light for others this holiday season. Right now, get special offers on select Ford trucks and SUVs. Come in and choose a vehicle in stock, or simply place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Hurry in to your local Ford dealer today and find the Ford vehicle that helps you shine bright all season long. Not all models, trims, or features may be available or may be subject to change.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
It's harvest special time, and you can save $3 per foot or $3,900 per quarter-mile system now on a TNL pivot system. Pivots worked long hours this season battling dry weather to save top-dollar corn and soybean crops. But did your pivots work like no other? If not, it's time to invest in a reliable, safe, low-maintenance TNL irrigation system. Hydrostatic drives move these durable workhorses continuously across fields. So get an irrigation system that works as hard as you do. Contact TNL Irrigation, your local TNL dealer, or visit us online at TLIRR.com. TNL Irrigation Systems like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show special time. Monday, 7 o'clock. This is a special NCAA tournament edition. I'm John Baylor, your host. There's the head coach, John Cook, 402-413-2400. 402-413-2400. We're in the Acres Equipment, Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. And this one also brought to you by Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle and Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavor abilities. Coach, early December, I don't think anyone's out in the combine unless they're just going out in the garage and sitting in it and listen.
I've heard people will do that.
Just makes the show better.
Makes the show better.
You're in the Barca Lounge. You're like, I want to get back in the combine.
Yeah. That's right.
Fire things up. Even though if it is in the old garage, just don't turn it on. Bonnie in Omaha. Bonnie, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hey, Bonnie.
Yes.
Hello.
Doing well, I hope.
Doing okay. Thanks.
Okay. I have a question for you, Coach Cook. I know in football, if you play, is it 2 or 3 games, you can still be considered a red shirt. Do they have that for volleyball? Mainly pertaining to Kubik's sister. I know she's been in 2 matches. Is she considered still a red shirt, or is she burned a season?
In volleyball, once you play one play, you burn your red shirt. So that's it. So
that doesn't seem fair. That doesn't seem fair.
Well, that's a very good point, and that might be something you could write the NCAA about. They're the ones that makes the rules.
Coach Drew is assigning listeners work. I mean, we're hoping to listen, make some suggestions, and you kind of take it from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's too bad because if you just played, maybe 4 sets or something a season, or just like with the football.
Yep.
I've been wondering that, and I was just curious.
Yeah, and it's like I said, when you play, we needed her against. She played great against Creighton, and
yes, she did.
So yeah,
and she played the other night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. USC, who just lost to Ohio State this weekend, they had their setter went down, and they were redshirting their future setter, and she had to start playing. So she just burned her redshirt year. Didn't play all year.
My.
Yeah, it's just that's the way it is in volleyball.
That genuinely needs to be reviewed. Thanks so much, Bonnie. That's a great suggestion. In football, you get 4 games. She can start 4 games, play a ton, and decide, I'm done. I'll do this whole year over again.
Yeah.
Wow, Kelly Hunter back in 2014, you could have used her, and you had to keep her on the sidelines.
Right.
And you risked a lot of big midseason games because Mary Pohlmiller, the setter at the time, was struggling a little bit.
Right. I mean, I was at Michigan State. I was ready to pull Kelly out of red shirt, and she goes, "I ain't going in."
Good for Kelly.
So, well, who the heck is going to set?
And you're like, Coach, and she was like, Coach, okay,
I ain't going in.
Do you want a 2017 title, or you want to beat Michigan State tonight? You decide.
Yeah.
And that's what you do when you pull a red shirt. You basically give up your best year for your worst.
Yeah. Yep.
When you redshirt, you trade your worst year for your best.
Right. Yeah.
And not everyone does it because at this level, because they've been elite volleyball players forever, they can't imagine taking a year off. My God, they've dominated.
I know.
Level.
I know. Right now, you take a year off and you're going in the portal. I'm seriously. I'll be surprised how many kids redshirt. I know Purdue still had a few red shirts. There's a couple programs that have redshirted players, but the players we're recruiting, I mean, they're coming in here ready to play, and they expect to play and want to play. So it's the day and age of redshirting like we used to in the old days. That we used to, we talked about redshirting everybody if we could, but you need them to play now.
I'm wondering, Coach, in this era of the portal, if some coaches of elite volleyball programs could just establish a culture that says, okay, look, we want to do it the old-fashioned way. We don't want you leaving us, and we're not going to probably be tapping into the portal very often. But if you enter the portal, you're not coming back. And if we ask you to redshirt, we hope you'll say yes. You got to trust us. All right? We're building a culture, and it's special to be a part of this culture. We don't want people moving out. This is not a nomadic scene we're creating here. We want you to be here and be a part of this for life. Do you think you can institute those old school ideals anymore, or it's too late?
I think it's too late. We're trying with but this day and age, I mean, they're not happy, they're not playing, they're going to the portal, and it's I heard today our guys were saying that 500 football players went in the portal today. I mean,
I think we need some portal universities. They put on, you got Portal State, and then you got Portal Tech. These are guys who are nomads who don't want to stay where they were, and they can't find a new place. And they got their own helmets and their own brand. And they go to some like a mini mall and go to classes.
Yeah, I mean, look at Texas. They have 6 players transfers playing. So, I mean, that's Texas.
In volleyball.
Yeah, and they get top recruiting class in the country, every year. They recruit the best players.
Are you feeling this incrementally, or did this just land on your lap, just bang, the whole world changed?
I think the whole world kind of changed really fast, and I don't think anybody expected how. When we first heard about the portal, we were like, "Well, this is not good," but I don't think everybody realized, how dramatic it would be, and you saw Northwestern play this year, right?
Solid.
Yeah. Most of their teams in the portal.
You gotta be kidding me.
They got a great coach, great school. No, I'm not kidding you.
That's ridiculous. A Northwestern education is $340,000.
That's
You're
why-
just going to walk away from that?
That's why I brought it up. You remember Lisiak, the outside hitter? Lisiak, that was her and Temmie and her are both in the portal.
Temmie's in the portal.
And
She's
then
been there 4 years.
Becker is their middle, who's in the portal.
Oh.
So,
how do you build a program?
I know. I don't. And Ohio State's going to be the other interesting one because we've heard a lot of their seniors or super seniors are going to leave because their coach, and you got to admire, it doesn't have scholarships for him.
Jen Flynn Oldenburg.
Yeah,
she's
because
out.
she recruited kids to take their place, and so. And everybody got worked up when Maddie and Kenzie decided, they weren't coming back. But, they feel like it's their time to move on. And, again, we would have probably had to, it'd been tough to work some stuff out because, again, we recruited those players that are coming in this year or next year way before we knew about the portal and the fifth year or the super senior year or whatever you call it.
It's not all bad. It makes your job tougher, I think, largely. But some coaches, it might make it, they've got opportunities they didn't have historically. But there's some real costs. One cost is to be a freshman or sophomore and be an impact player is going to be more and more difficult because it'll be so tempting for your coach to just go grab a senior, a super senior, a fifth-year player, and you're going to be watching when otherwise you should have been playing.
Right. And hopefully, we're going to try to have a reputation that if we recruit you, we're going to plan on playing you. And if we need to go into the portal, it'll be for a specific need, or we lost somebody, or we moved somebody to a different position or something like that, or we had a couple one of the reasons we've even had opportunities for like Caitlin Hort is because we had a couple medicals, and again, you can't control that, but they medically can't play anymore. We had 2 of them, so that's the only reason we had open scholarships for this year. But going forward, we're kind of it's planned out.
402-413-2400. All right. We probably have some Oregon spies, and actually assistant coaches on future opposing teams will tell me they tuned into the show. So we don't want to give away much, but they got great outsides. You don't need a Hubble telescope to figure that out.
Yeah.
And they've got a really solid right side. And they hit for a big number, and you said their best player is the setter, so we've given all that away. Are there vulnerabilities?
They're a very good team, and they're putting up great numbers. That's one of the things we look at. But every team's beatable, and that's our job to figure that out.
We like to speak to the volleyball historians on this program. What team does the 2022 Oregon Ducks remind you of?
Well, they remind me of the Oregon Duck teams we played in the past.
Okay. What other team? 2002.
They remind me a little. They play very much like Ohio State does.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That means they got a great right side.
Yeah.
I thought they were all left side oriented, but no.
They are. And mainly, they set those guys a lot because they're setting them out of the back row as well. So that's one of the reasons they get a lot of sets.
The last team with 2 elite outsides at this caliber, I recall, was 2002 Hawaii regional final.
There's been other teams, JB.
Okay, I'm tapping into the dark caverns of people's memory. Husker Dan in West Point. Husker Dan, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Husker Dan.
How are you tonight?
Good.
Good. Hey, John, I know I heard you earlier talking about the early time, and I think it's ridiculous myself. I got to work. So thank God for DVRs. I mean, I'm going to stay away from the social media, Facebook and all that, and I'm going to record it and watch it when I get home from work, and I wish you well, and I hope the team comes out with a win. My second point is it was a really great weekend for Husker sports. The men and women basketball teams won, and they always say, comes in threes. So, you know what? I'm just saying.
Well, we appreciate your support. Go
ahead.
We appreciate your support, and regionals is this is the most pressure-packed week of the year for volleyball. You're trying to get through a regional. Once you get the Final Four, man, you're like, wow, we made it here. This is great. Anything can happen. The regionals is where it's at, and we got to play our best volleyball of the week this year. And again, the morning thing, there's a lot of people that are going to have to work, which makes it tough. But I have a feeling there'll be a lot of TVs on at work.
Employers, you just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Employers, you got to call off the dogs.
Yeah. Maybe if our governor would declare a holiday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or a morning off.
CHI, let's all go down there and watch the match.
Flex time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Husker Dad. Good stuff. 402-413-2400. It's flex time. Here to show up at work at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. And NDOT reminds us to buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for your next SUV and experience the difference. We offer a full lineup of SUVs so you can find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. The GMC Terrain and Acadia offer the perfect blend of tech and safety on the road. Or discover the style, comfort, and cargo space of the Buick Enclave. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. Nebraska has the most technically advanced buildings in the Big Ten, according to an annual review of universities across the country. Nebraska has also saved over $85 million over the past 17 years by making long-term investments in clean, reliable energy sources, cutting-edge automation, and collaborations across campus.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
I'm the warmest too. I'm so glad we called SOS before the coldest got here.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford. If your house is the coldest, call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Don't be like me in the winter. Take it from Dakota.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Welcome back. Special Monday edition, Nebraska Volleyball Show. Sadly, some of our best shows are off the air, but hey, on the air is pretty high quality too. You're getting good stuff on the air too. By the way, Patrick checking in from Omaha, Coach. Nebraska Public Media's documentary, Destination Omaha, Nebraska Volleyball 2015. Remember that? That thing was sweet. Oh, Brock Lohr, he's in charge of everything over at Nebraska Public. That guy's a total rock star. He's like the Michael Jordan of sports video stuff. Anyway, it's incredibly motivational, inspiring, and spine-tingling. It almost mirrors many aspects, circumstances of the 2022 Huskers. Any chance the team will watch this 28-minute documentary on the 2015 Nebraska volleyball journey?
I think it's a great idea. And just, I'm always looking for something. We got something we're going to take with us on HBO about Shaq and the Lakers breaking through. So, but this is a great idea. I hadn't thought about that. I know I have the DVD. I don't even know if we can play DVDs anymore, but I'll have my video guy look into it.
And Kelly could intro the whole thing.
Yeah.
You just say, let me tell you what it's like to win a natty around here when no one expects it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, have you seen these T-shirts? Getting Krause with it?
No, I have not.
Good for you. But a lot of fans are wearing them.
Oh, really?
And it's working. Because Lindsay and Becca your hottest players right now?
Well, hopefully everybody's going to be hot this week. But Lindsay had a great couple weeks. Becca's, got hurt and is slowly coming back. She didn't really miss any matches, but she struggled there for a few matches, and then she's starting to get everything back. So, but we need everybody to be hot. So
if Nicklin December 2021 is 100%, what's Nicklin right now, physically?
I mean, she's close. She's probably feels as good as she's felt all year.
If you wanted her to, could she play a 5-1? Is she physically capable of going over?
Yeah, she probably could, but I don't know if that gives us our. The problem is, I mean, we could spend the next hour talking about why or why not. There's a lot of whys and there's a lot of why nots, and or a lot of positives, a lot of negatives to it. But it's it's hard to just switch systems at this point of the year. That's the bottom line.
If you had to do it over again, might you have tried sooner, or you just...
JB, you're asking me questions. You're armchair quarterback, and we have done the best we could do with the options we had and who was available.
402-413-2400. Mike in Omaha, great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, Mike.
Hey, JB.
Hey.
I want to thank you for the kind words you said about me last time.
I call you Split Step Mike.
Yeah.
You intimated that I should have got the Long Beach job because Tyler got credit for my innovation.
That's right.
Exactly right. He should be
Coach,
sharing some of that salary.
Yeah, here I am stuck in Omaha still calling radio shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna text Tyler and remind him of that.
Yeah.
But I consider Tyler seriously one of the great assistants Nebraska's ever had in any sport. Coach, would you agree with that?
He's elite. Yeah, but he's learning. He learned this year. It's he's learned how to build a program.
How did he get left out of the tournament? He was on the cusp.
They weren't even. I don't think they were even close.
Okay, had a nice record, but I guess weak conference.
Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
I love the similarities with tennis. In tennis, I'm actually better than I've ever been, even though I'm older, close to your age. Part of that was I wasn't that good before. But in tennis, unforced errors, whoever has the fewest unforced errors usually wins.
Yep.
And what's really huge in reducing unforced errors is topspin, where you can be aggressive, swing hard, and the ball goes in. And when I'm watching you guys or any volleyball, it seems like when balls are going a little bit out, long or wide, a little more topspin would help. And I know some of our best players ever are making a lot of unforced errors sometimes in big matches. And what do you think about that? More topspin would help.
We work on it, Mike. It's just, sometimes they're trying to hit off the block and miss. Sometimes they don't get their feet to the ball, and it's really hard to put topspin on it. So it's a combination of everything, but we work on it all the time. They're good at it, and you're right. It's a good shot, but unlike tennis, you got tennis, you got the net that's not moving. In volleyball, you got a block, you got diggers back there, you got lines. You got somebody setting you the ball, so there's a lot of stuff that's going on that makes it tough. But we work on using our hands and our wrists to control the ball. We have a couple of drills we do almost every day to work on that.
Great stuff. Thanks, Mike. Here's Wayne in Colorado, new head coach out there, Deion Sanders. Hello, Wayne. Great to have you on the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Around, according to the media.
Yep, prime time has arrived. All right, Wayne, what are your thoughts for Nebraska volleyball?
Oh, you guys, I love listening to your volleyball. John, you do a great job, and we just wanted to wish you good luck. I kind of got on the tail end, but I heard you say something about hanging out in the shop, listening to you guys on the radio. And I tell you, that's about as I would probably rather do that. And I usually record it, but I like listening to you, JB, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are entertaining, and I just wanted to tell you, you do a hell of a job.
Thanks, Wayne.
Wayne, we missed the days of playing at Colorado, Golden Buff Restaurant.
Yep.
Boulder, that's one of my favorite places to go play.
What's that big park we used to go walking in? That place is beautiful.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the Flatiron Mountains up there.
As before you needed a cool mill to buy a cottage in that town.
Anyway.
Those were good days. Now Deion's arrived, and he's told his whole team, hey, I want you all in the portal.
Yeah. Love it.
Guys got one win, please don't come back.
Yeah.
402-413-2400, More Nebraska Volleyball Show after this.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you grow non-GMO white corn or non-GMO yellow corn, you can earn up to $250 more per acre. Do the math. Growing CVA value-added grains pays huge dividends. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. We're on the Acres Husker Radio Network Broadcast Center. Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. And the Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Now, Coach, you can't peek ahead. You got to be laser focused on Oregon. They're 25-5. They finished second in the Pac-12. Nebraska finished second in the Big Ten. So the conferences are going at it. Although to date, the Big Ten has fared quite well. The Big Ten thus far 11-1 in the conference. 5 of the 6 teams that started are still around. And Purdue gave a fight with Louisville the other day. The ACDC down to only 2 teams. They started with 5. The Big 12 down to 2 teams. They started with 5. The Pac-12 down to 2 teams. They started with 6. So, hey, validation for the Big 10 once again.
Well, I say all year, it's the toughest conference, and you know, it's hard to win matches, and every match is a great match. And, you know, everybody thought our bottom half was down this year, and you look at all the great wins from
Maryland, Indiana.
I mean, I read some crazy thing about how many teams in our that didn't even make the tournament from the Big Ten beat a top 10 or top 20 team. It was unreal. So the challenge is, and the key is, and this is what I've praised our players and team on and program and coaches, is can you stay consistent at it for 10 weeks? And not have a match that you just blow, or I mean, you're going to lose some matches, but that you can play good volleyball every night and be consistent, and we've done a heck of a job with that.
Meanwhile, Nebraska and Oregon, it's a 10 a.m. start on Thursday, 9:30 airtime Central Time. This one this evening brought to you by First Interstate Bank. Built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. And Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. The winner Thursday gets either the second-place team in the Big 12, Baylor, or more likely, the winner of the ACC, the number 1 seed in the regional, a team that is hungry with nearly everybody back from last year's team that made a national semifinal, the Louisville Cardinals. Danny Busboom Kelly has it rolling again.
Yeah, they've, she needed to replace a setter, and she got a fifth-year, basically
USC.
from Spanish national team from USC to come in. So they got everybody back. They had one of their outside hitters got hurt in the middle of the year, but everybody's back now, and they won the ACC, and they beat Stanford. I mean, they had a heck of a preseason, so they're for real.
And this one will be at the Yum Center, not at the old convention center in downtown Louisville where we played in 2004. Happy not to return there.
2004, is that where we played?
Yeah, against
that's
USC.
right. It was like in the convention center.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weak.
12-12 in the 5th.
Yeah, 12-12.
Sarah Pavin still ticked off about that one.
Yeah, so am I.
I always thought K.O. Burdine of USC.
Danny Busboom actually missed the serve there, in the 5th. Right.
Maybe bring that up in the pregame if we play him on Saturday.
Yeah. Thank God we're not playing that place where you missed a serve on match point against USC in 04.
That might send her in a funk.
Yeah.
Are you a little concerned about fans from around here that live south of Lincoln having split allegiances if we play Louisville on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. There'll be a few down south that...
But I think on that day, you just got to say, we love Danny, but...
Yeah, we've got to find out if you're really true Huskers or not. Can't just be part-time Huskers. You're either all in or not.
And the NDOT reminds us to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Oregon all-time 2-6 against Nebraska, 1-2 in the tournament. We beat them twice recently. They beat us in 2012. All that's forgotten at this point. They just throw that. Those
But I have
records
not
out.
forgotten
Nice.
the match in the opening weekend of that that AVCA Classic we were playing in with Oregon.
Which year?
And another Waverly kid, Liv Boonder, came in and went off. Remember? It was at, where were we at?
Gainesville or up in Oregon or here in Lincoln?
No, it was, were we in Gainesville?
Or down in
No, we were
Austin.
we were in Austin. Yeah, it was Austin.
Boonder.
Olivia Boonder.
Great point.
Yeah.
That was her finest hour.
Yeah, finest hour. She came in and won that match for us. It was
Remember
awesome.
She threw out her left arm.
Yeah.
Very unconventional block.
Yeah, great
Could have won the
match.
game.
So we've had some great matches with Oregon. It's the bottom line. And
what do you do without Waverly High?
I know.
I mean,
Waverly High and Papillion La Vista's
I just have to
are
keep
on
telling
the map for volleyball for this state.
When I go visit schools, I have to remind them, okay, he recruits at other places beyond Waverly. He looks at other schools, but you can't blame me if all you just do is go up the road and take a look at their varsity team and see what they got for next year.
Yeah.
Nebraska and Oregon on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Seriously, how do you make sure this team doesn't have a sleepy set one with that early start?
We're not going to have a sleepy set one. So our team understands what's at stake here. And we've played some weird times this year. These 12 o'clock Sunday matches and 8 o'clock matches. So we're used to being out of rhythm and out of sync. But I think our team is fired up. And, they know we're going to have to play our best match of the year.
Women-owned businesses are vital to the thriving culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and responsible contribution to community and the planet. Bank of the West is proud to provide resources, training, and solutions to help you achieve your goals. Learn more at bankofthewest.com. Member FDIC. That's your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Coach, great luck Thursday morning in Louisville.
All right, thanks, JB.
That's head coach John Cook. That's your Nebraska Volleyball Show. My name's John Baylor. Talk to you Thursday morning. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride